That's right, I'm going there. I'm telling you who the top 10 most useless toons are, because they exist. Instead of basing it just based on how useless they are, because that's kind of rude, we're going to be using them on used less. As in, the least used toons. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. I do an address right now. Number 10, number 9, and number 8. I kind of just had to have them on the list. I didn't really want them to be here. They just kind of had to be here. With that being said, at number 10, I have the starter toons. I have Boxin and I have Poppy. I think it goes without saying that obviously these are going to be realistically some of the more used toons in the game. But the reason why I have them more so on the less used side, or what rather why they're at number 10, specifically more Poppy than anything. It's just Poppy, not even Boxin. It's just Poppy. Poppy's number 10. And the only reason why she's not lower on the list is because she is a starter toon. Honestly, that's a better way of phrasing it. Why did I not just say that from the beginning? Poppy's number 10. And why do people not use Poppy? Because she debatably has the worst ability in the game. So this toon receives a 50% speed buff only after she gets hit. Yeah. And this toon has the most middle tier stats you've ever seen in your entire life. Basically, unless you're getting healed, her ability only works twice. 2 times an entire game. An entire game that can last several hours. Yeah, she's pretty useless. Poppy sucks. I'm gonna do number 9 as fast as I can because this is the most controversial one. People are gonna hate me. Number 9, used less / least used toon is Toodles. I don't want her to be here either, but if you saw the rest of the list, you would agree. That's why it's number 9. Should Poppy have been here instead? Maybe. Okay, I didn't want to put Toodles here. But why is it that Toodles is used less? It would be because their ability isn't inherently good, and as far as starting toons go and cheap toons go, there are better, cheaper options. More people typically leaning towards playing as Roger. And really, people only play Toodles to unlock main toons. So, used less. Okay, the truth is after number 8, I actually feel really good about the list. But coming in at number 8 is in fact going to be Glisten. Glisten's number 8, merely for the sole reason, not because he's a bad toon or he's considered, well, used less. It's because he's the newer-ist toon in the game, or one of the newer toons, and I feel like less people have him. As far as the update goes with Sprout, Glisten, Cosmo, and Finn, he's one of the used less ones of them. He's actually a really good toon. He's a really good extractor. You just don't see him a ton. His ability is actually very good as well, but the barrier to get him is one of the harder ones as far as normal toons go, because you have to complete 300 machines before you get to unlock Glisten, meaning a lot of players don't actually get there. Unless you're real Danny's World players. Like I assume the people watching this video are. Hey, y'all are real ones. You're a real one. I said the same thing. Let's go to number 7. How about that? Okay, now officially we're getting into the top 7 useless toons, but these ones are actually the most, like, used less, in my opinion. Like, actually. It is not often you play a game where you play with Finn. And I think most of you guys watching this video right now are like, wow, that's actually totally accurate. I don't know the last time I played a game with a Finn in there. Do you see Twisted Finn all the time? Yes. What about normal Finn? No, you really don't see him very often. And the reason why you don't see this toon get used very often, even at his cheap ticket price, is because you can't really control his ability. Is it a good ability? Sure. But it only is good whenever machines get completed, which most of the time, Finn has literally 0 control over. Also, with that being said, he's just kind of a mid-esque extractor. And people lean towards using other extractors or playing support roles or better versatile survivalist toons, which is why he's number 7. Let's go to number 6. All right, with this pick, I think a lot of people could argue that this could go higher up on the list or it could go further down on the list. And I agree, which is why I put him smack dab in the middle, right at 6. And that is going to be the worst toon in the game without a question or debate. It is going to be Shrimpo. Shrimpo is statistically in literally every way, shape, or form, literally on the Danny's World Wiki, being listed as only to be used as a challenge. He has 1-star stats, literally has negative stealth inside of Danny's World. He's a terrible toon, but he's also kind of a meme character where he still gets used. There are often times where I have more Shrimpos in my runs than I do the other toons higher up on the list. And I genuinely mean that when I say that. Shrimpo is statistically the most useless toon. However, as far as used less goes, he's actually used at a more frequent volume than you would expect. With that being said, the Shrimp Boy finds himself at 6. I don't think I need to preface 5 too much. I think once I put this one on the screen, everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, kind of, yeah. No, you're right. That's true. And it is going to be the only main toon on the list today. If that indicates anything, I think you already know who I'm talking about. And it is, in fact, going to be Shelly. I honestly mean this when I say this. I don't know if I have ever had a Shelly inside of my Danny's World game. But why is it that she is the least used main toon? Her main reason being, the other main toons are simply just better. Their abilities trump hers. Sprout has the ability to heal. Astro can fully regen someone's stamina. Pebbles is literally just the best distractor in the game. And V is the best extractor in the game. With that being said, what role is there left to be? Not really much of one at all. Shelly's a good toon. Like a very good toon, the worst of the main toon, which is simply why she's gonna be number 5 on the list on the used less side of things. Not 4, not 3, right here, where she belongs, at number 5. No hate, Shelly. I'm sorry. I genuinely mean this when I say this. I'm very confident with my top 4. I don't think anyone should really disagree with my top 4. If you disagreed with my number 5 through my number 10, fine. I understand. But if you disagree with my top 4, honestly, I disagree with you. These are definitely the least used toons inside of Danny's World. You can't change my mind. You can't. And I guess the cat's out of the bag here. As you can see, the ears, it is going to be Scraps. The toon that's been talked about needing a buff for the longest amount of time for a specific reason. Is Scraps inherently bad? Yes, she kind of is. Her role in this game is kind of a mystery. She is the only normal toon that has a stamina bar or has 5-star abilities in a certain field other than Glisten. Her movement speed's only 2. So she's like almost one of the best and efficient distractors in the game, but she just moves too slow, which ultimately ends up getting her dead. Also, her ability where she can pull herself into people is extremely limited and completely trumped by Glisten's ability to literally teleport across the map to other toons. Not only that, but she's notorious for being siblings to the best distractor of the early starting toons, or rather normal toons, without needing a main toon, which is Goop. So there are multiple reasons why Scraps isn't really used. So with that being said, Scraps comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, I genuinely feel like this is a toon everyone unlocks, plays once, goes, heh, that was fun, and then never touches again. Just goes and lets this toon collect dust. And that is going to be Brightney. I do believe that Brightney is the 3rd least used toon inside of Danny's World. The reason for that being is one of the first toons you get that has kind of a cool ability. When blackouts happen, you feel like you're the coolest person in the world. You use your ability, you get to see where the twists are for about 8 seconds, and then that's about it. And then you don't do anything again. And then you realize how much Brightney sucks because her stealth is literally 1, and her movement speed's only 3, and then you die really early and only get to experience your ability in 1 blackout, and then never do it again. That wasn't based on personal experience or anything. Brightney was number 3. All right, when I do this one, I'm not saying that these toons are disliked. I'm not saying that these toons are hated. Okay, hear me out. I would actually argue that this toon is relatively good. However, it just doesn't get used. Coming at number 2 is gonna be Flutter. And the main reason why you do not see Flutter get used very often, or why they're one of the least used toons inside of Dandy's World, is because getting 100% Twisted Flutter research is hard, man. I swear, sometimes you see main Twisteds more often than you see Flutter Twisteds. And by the time you have 100% research on Flutter anyways, you're knocking on a main toon, and you probably go ahead and unlock like Pebbles anyways instead of Flutter, going and never unlocking Flutter at all. Flutter is a good toon. 4 stamina, 4 movement speed. More people just typically elect towards using like Goop or something because then they can pull people into the elevator, which makes Flutter collect dust, especially because she's not super easy to unlock right away. Most people definitely just unlock Goop and they're good to go. If that is you want to play the distractor role. Which should also be emphasized, the distractor role can only be played by so many people, which is why Flutter comes in at number 2. And coming in at number 1, everyone's picking their butts, sniffing their noses, and saying, who does this dumb skeleton man have at number 1. He's about to pull out some stupid mumbo jumbo that none of us agree with, and we are all about to get extremely upset at this skeleton. And guys, I did not let my bias prevail today, okay? I stuck to what the statistics, the numbers, the factually not actually backed statistics for this video. And the least used toon, whether I like it or not, is a toon that gets talked about needing a buff more than any other one, and that is for a specific reason. The least used toon is going to be Razzle and Dazzle. And why is Razzle and Dazzle the least used toon? Well, inherently, he's bad. Not only is he bad, he is like the most expensive normal toon that you can buy. So if you have a toon who already kind of sucks, and he's ridiculously expensive, why would you buy him? You're not gonna play him. He's just simply gonna sit there and collect dust in your inventory. I love R&D. He is my favorite character, but he does not get used. And a lot of people are probably wondering, what inherently makes this toon so bad? Even floors. Even floors makes this toon very bad. If you've ever played as R&D on an even floor, you move as slow as molasses. Literally any twisted, I'm talking about Twisted Shrimpo, Twisted Boxin, Twisted Poppy, are going to give you a freaking problem. If your extractors are not on their main game, and if you're not playing your stealth the best way you possibly can, I hate to break it to you, pal, you're gonna die. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be my top 10 used less toons inside of Danny's World. If you guys agree with the list, let me know down below what you would change. Also, go ahead and comment that, because at the end of the day, it is just my opinion. It's not set in stone, except I am very confident in my top 4, but yours very well could be different, because I asked for statistics to make this video. They don't exist, so I just had to go based on the hundreds of hours I've played this game. Either way, without further ado, I will see you guys all again soon. If you want me to do another top 10 list, comment down below what top 10 you would want to see. All right, bye.